Experts claim that Biden's latest immigration proposal won't make much of a dent in the border crisis and that they haven't learned anything. President Joe Biden has promised to be tough on the border, but immigration experts warn that unless he begins enforcing the existing rules, his suggested actions won't help to resolve the situation. An app for mobile phones that enables migrants in Venezuela, Nicaragua, Haiti, and Cuba to ask for asylum from their native country is at the heart of Biden's strategy to stop migrants from pouring over the border. However, detractors assert that immigrants will continue to pour over the border until the Biden administration enacts federal law requiring the detention of all migrants, even those with plausible asylum claims, until they appear before an immigration judge. Without enforcing that legislation, anyone who enter the country through the southern border and assert a plausible dread of going back home will just be let free. According to analysts, Biden's policy, which makes it simpler for immigrants to enter the nation, avoids this major issue. This program was first implemented in Ukraine, then Venezuela, and is currently being implemented in 3 more nations. It will be increased continually as the Biden administration searches for alternatives to executing the law to stop the flow at the border. The Washington Free Beacon was informed by a senior Department of Homeland Security official. They believe that overcrowding airports with immigrants will ease the pressure building at the border because they have learned nothing in the past 2 years. Something to consider for Americans as they wait in huge queues at customs. Asylum seekers may have to wait years to see an immigration judge due to court backlogs. In the interim, they are permitted to reside in the country, obtain work authorizations, and in some cities and states, seek for social services. The Biden administration has stopped deportations, even if their asylum applications are ultimately rejected. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has deported the fewest illegal aliens since 2015. Although Biden cited studies demonstrating that the program's experimental versions reduced the number of Venezuelans seeking refuge, the actual number of applicants is unknown because some migrants were never apprehended by authorities. More than 500,000 known gotaways were reported by Customs and Border Protection in 2022 compared to fewer than 400,000 incidents in 2021. Biden stated while introducing the idea earlier this month that immigrants who enter the country illegally will face additional consequences, such as expedited removal. Although his administration has had the ability to use expedited removal since taking office, Biden has so far shown hesitation about doing so. For instance, in November, less than 5% of the more than 140,000 migrants detained at the southern border were expeditedly removed by law enforcement. The rate from 2012 to 2020 averaged in the low 20s, which is significantly lower than the current rate. The Biden administration's plan is opposed by individuals who claim that letting 30,000 migrants from those specific nations each month, or hundreds of thousands annually, will overload public services. Democratic mayors, including those of New York, Chicago, and Washington, D.C., have reacted angrily when Republican governors have sent migrants to their cities, claiming they cannot handle such a sudden influx of foreigners. Another form of mass immigration is this. However, this government has no plan for where these foreign nationals should go, said John Fear, Director of Investigations at the Center for Immigration Studies and a former ICE Chief of Staff. This administration doesn't care about the burden this would put on social services, from public education to housing to welfare. This week, Biden met with Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the president of Mexico, to talk about border security issues like illegal immigration and drug trafficking. Few specifics were provided by the White House regarding the outcomes of the meeting, but according to a summary of Biden's meeting released by the White House, the two presidents reaffirmed their commitment to deploy innovative methods to address irregular migration.